Samsung has a updated picture of what it's going to look like for the Vividness controls on the S24 series phones. It's supposed to be coming out with a future update. We still don't know what date yet, but I saw it on Twitter, so I was like, well, let me go ahead and share this and talk to you about it briefly. And also, I've had folks that wanted to kind of get a feel for how the S24 Ultra series selfie camera works. This is with the built-in microphones. This is with the built-in camera. I'm recording on 8K 60 right now, so I thought, okay, quick news update. Also, do a little video test so you can kind of see. I do like some of the stuff here. I like the colors, the way they look better. It doesn't make my face look as red as the iPhone does. It also actually shows the lights in the background. Like normally when I record with my iPhone, even when I record with my new Panasonic camera, the lights in the background, they look really washed out. So I've got like my point light here. I've got all my lighting on in here. And this is the normal brightness that normally when you watch my videos, this is what you see. So this is what it looks like on the Samsung phone. So I think that it does pick up on a couple other things. It's really nice. You can do 4K 60. You can do 4K 60 all around. And I've said this for the longest time. I think that the built-in microphones on Samsung are the best. I think they're better than the Pixel. I think they're better than the iPhone. And combine that with some really, really cool stuff with the video. What's also nice about the video is here, watch this. So I'm recording. You can flip it from the to the rear camera while you're recording. And you can't do that with the iPhone. It's something that I wish that they would incorporate, but they don't. And then you can do other stuff too. You can use the S Pen for a remote shutter. You can pull the S Pen out, press and hold the button down. You can activate, you can flip between the front camera. You can flip between the rear camera. So that stuff's really cool. And then hopefully, once we get the new settings for the Vividness. So basically, if you go in right now to your Samsung settings, you go into display settings, and then you go in there where you can adjust the Vividness for a more vivid or natural looking picture on your phone. Right now, if you go to the advanced controls, you can do the red, green, and blue, RGB. You can adjust those individually. The new update is adding a little meter down on the bottom below that, and it lets you adjust how vivid you want the screen to look. So that's pretty neat. But again, we don't know when it's coming. My expectation is probably the March update. Once we get that, I hope it's here before then. I would really like to see an independent individual update before we get to that point. But it's probably going to take a little bit of time. Now, I know there's a lot of folks who are upset about it. There's been a lot of folks that are upset about this display period. I've heard people talking about graininess, which I've even tried to duplicate it. Some people are like, well, if the brightness is down lower, you can see more grainy texture to the screen. I think maybe part of what might that be is people don't realize that their phone is on 1080p by default. A 1080p screen on 6.8 inches is going to look more pixelated than a Quad HD Plus. So maybe that might be playing with people's eyes a little bit, but I haven't experienced this graininess look on my screen. I even turned the brightness down really low because some folks are saying, well, if the screen is really dim, then like it's more apparent, but if you turn the brightness up, you really can't see it that much. And I typically have my brightness well above 50%. So if you're having this graininess issue, I've even heard some news reports where some folks were able to get a replacement model. So if you're concerned about it, maybe try and switch it out with another model. I haven't noticed this on mine. Apparently it's not obvious or apparent in every phone. So it's only impacting some devices. And then some folks are saying, oh, there's a green line that's showing up on their screen. And that's going to be a defect. That's going to be a manufacturer's defect. That's going to be an easy swap out and replace. You can get a new one. The OnePlus phones have this happen. Anytime you have a screen, like of the nature that these OLEDs are in these phones, you run the risk that something like that might happen. You could go buy a Samsung monitor at Best Buy and take it home, take it out of the box, and there could be a line in it. Like, there's a margin of error when it comes to this stuff. So if you end up having something where it's like, hey, if your screen looks grainy, or if you get a green line that goes across it, that's an absolute, okay, let me go back and take it to Samsung and get me another phone. When it comes to the Vividness, that's something that they've been working on because they made it look more natural this go around. So they're coming out with this update. Hopefully the next couple of weeks, I'm crossing my fingers, we'll be able to adjust that Vividness slider so you can make it look like the S23 Ultra. You can make it look like the S21 Ultra, which from what we've seen, yes, is supposed to be more vivid than we get with the S24 Ultra, even though the S24 series are more bright because they can go up higher whenever it comes to nits brightness with the higher nits. So it's not a brightness issue. It's like a vividness color saturation issue. So again, I like the more natural look, but historically, Samsung has had a very saturated look. A lot of people really like that. So they're bringing that back. They're bringing sexy back to the screen. So a couple things rolled in this one video, but I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to shoot this video, and this is inside my room. Like, I have some sound tiles on the wall. It's nothing that's too otherworldly crazy, but I do have a little bit of soundproofing in here. But overall, little 8x11 room where I record in my little office area that I built in my garage. And yeah, this is the built-in microphone. This is 4K at 60 frames per second. And the slider is coming. That's the change that they're making. Also wanted to talk about some of the other display issues. Kind of rolled into one video. I don't feel the need to keep making a bunch of individual videos like, oh, let's talk about the green light. Let's talk about the graininess. Let's just say that people are less than excited about how the displays have shown up on the S24 series phones, especially the Ultra, especially for what you're paying for at $12.99. And I'm glad people are being vocal about this because it's making Samsung react, having to update things and address these issues. So that's the way the process is supposed to work. So it seems like Samsung is responding well to that, and hopefully we're going to get these issues fixed, worked out. And again, if you get a green line on your screen, take the sucker back to Samsung, because that's a manufacturer's defect. So that's all I got. If you have any questions or comments, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.